How's it going, YouTube? And how's it going, you? So, I am back from a week-long vacation, wedding, had a lot of fun, but I'm also really happy to be back and to be able to give you multiple videos this week. And today, which is Monday, we're going to be doing Murktide Monday. And I think that in order to explain what we are going to be doing, I think it's best for me to start by showing you this website. This is MTG Goldfish. Now, if you play a lot of Magic, MTGO, you probably know what this website is. If you don't, MTG Goldfish, in my personal opinion, is probably the best website to get deck lists and deck ideas. So you go to mtggoldfish.com, you go to decks, popular decks in metagame, and then there's all your formats, right? So I click on modern, and it should give you a list of the most popular modern decks, whatever format that you click on. Now, it's important that I say popular and not best, because it specifically counts the amount of decks that are in the meta, and that involves leagues, that involves tournaments, pretty much any store that uploads their events online. This is where all those lists are going to be posted. And I use this website all the time. Right over here to the left side, you can see all the different tournaments that are recently come up. And if you want to specifically, like for example, we want to play Murktide, right? We can click on this and we can see the most recent deck list and like the biggest tournament that's done well, as well as all the only isn't Murktide lists all the way down. And I click on these all the time just to see what people are playing along the way, you know, check out their one-ofs, etc. Now, today's video, let me explain what I'm going to be doing. So if you scroll down to this is the card breakdown. This is basically a calculated sum of all the cards that are in this deck. So what it has done is it has looked at every single Murktide list that is on the website and has given you a percentage of the amount that are in each of the lists. So for example, every single Murktide list that is done well in an event on here has had 4 ragavans, 100% of the decks, right? There's been 2.8 on average Murktides in 100% of lists, right? So today's video, we are going to be working with the card breakdown. What I have done is I have constructed a deck list that has every single calculated number of all these cards. So we are playing 4 Ragavan. We are playing 3 Murktide, rounded up, 2.8. 3 Dragon's Rage Channelers, 3.5. When I was in grade school, we learned that when it's 0.5, you round up. So we were playing 4 Ledger Shredders. I have done this all the way down, 4, etc., etc. And that brings you to this list. This is the most average Murktide list. Now, one thing that you might notice is we are playing 61 cards. Why is that? Well, that's because we're playing 20 lands. The reason why we're playing 20 lands is if you scroll down to these lands and you add them all up, 4 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus... you end up getting 20, which is not the amount of lands that are played in Murktide. It's usually 19 to 18. However, it's calculated all these blue fetch lands and it's averaged them out to 2. And in reality, like, 61 cards is not that big of a difference. I would never really submit 61 cards to a tournament. I would probably cut the land and play 19. But for the sake of content, and because I'm not a coward, we're going to play the 20 lands that it averages out as the normal amount in a Murktide list. Why not? The deck is already fantastic. What's the worst that could happen? So, we are playing the most average Murktide list. Ignore this from our RCQ. That's just not true. That's just a copy paste. I've taken all the cards. I've averaged them out from that website. And this is what it comes to. Super, super interesting that 4 Ledger Shredders is the average. And I love that 1 Spell Snare is the average in this list. I was kind of expecting it to be under 1, but no, it's rounded up to 1, so that's awesome. Now, one card that I am sad to be missing is Brazen Borrower. Sadly, if I can pull this back up again, sadly, Brazen Borrower is in only 47% of decks. So, you know, we're 3 percentage points away. So if you're out there and you like Murktide, for the love of God, just throw more Brazen Borrowers in, because, you know, help me out. But honestly, this list just looks super stock. Even the sideboard, 2 Blood Moons, Fury, Abrade, just 1 subtlety, flusterstorms, and mystical disputes, which I have generally been cutting, but adding them back sometimes. This deck, in my opinion, looks pretty boring. You know, it's Murktide. I love Murktide. I'll always play a version of Murktide, etc. But this version's pretty stock. There's nothing fancy. There's nothing, wow, that's a really cool card that they include. No, it's 4s and 3s, and the only interesting part here is we're playing 20 lands, and that's pretty much the meme. So I am really interested to see how 20 lands plays out. I know that we are playing 61, so our numbers are going to be a little skewed. But as somebody that is a supporter of 18 lands rather than the 19, playing 20 is above that number. And I am kind of interested to see how much that 20 lands matters. Maybe playing more lands is better. I mean, there are some hands that we keep that are 1-landers that you just never get there. And, you know, more lands does make our expressive iterations better. It makes our shredders, I guess, a little worse, but the shredders also kind of help balance out the lands. I'm also just kind of interested to try out stock Murktide. You know, I like to play a bunch of different variants, 4 Dragon's Rage Channelers, or, you know, 4 Ragavan, no Ledger Shredder. I'm interested to see what this stock Murktide list feels like, especially with these 4 Shredders, which is something I haven't done in a while. I have been feeling like Shredder is clunky, but I still like the card. Still play about 3 on average when I want to play it. So I am excited to see what stock Murktide feels like, plus that additional land. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please, please, please leave a like, subscribe. Those are the biggest ways that you guys can help me. We are getting closer and closer to 400. I mean, I would say we're relatively close to 1 million at this point. So thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys give me. And let's go play a league. Alrighty, round number 1 against Mistaken, who we have definitely played against before on the channel. And I think we even played them round 1, which is wild. And we're on the play, so that's awesome. Let's see what the open air looks like. Ooh, we got those land-heavy hands. I think I'm going to keep it. Our expressive is going to help us dig a little deeper on turn 3. The only thing that I guess I'm worried about is like a turn 1 ragavan. But other than that, I think that our hand is pretty good. And I'm definitely going to end up like fetching for a Steam Vents tapped, probably. See, this Flooded Strand is actually the 61st card. So I'm wondering, is it this Flooded Strand or is it the other Flooded Strand that I added to the deck? So as long as they don't play a turn 1 Ragavan, we should be good. Ooh, they're passing. That's good for us. And I am going to fetch on the end step. I want to preserve my life total. If we do draw Mishra's Bauble, we have the Misty. Oh, another land, huh? Well, I figure let's play the basic. Hold the Misty in case we do find a Bauble. Ooh, that's not what I was expecting. Okay, we did find a Bauble. Interesting. I don't think I'm going to play around a counter here. I think it's better for me to just jam. It's just like if we hit a 1-drop, then I'm gonna wish that I hadn't played the expressive because then I won't be able to counter anything. So I actually think it's better for me to just play the bauble and bauble myself and hold up my counter spells. Spell Pierce. I don't know what they're playing. Besaju and Misty. I assume like Renin 6 is a card, right? The Spell Pierce is okay. It's like an okay card. How much better is the second Spell Pierce? So, okay, I'm gonna keep it. And here's my thought process. If I end up casting the Spell Pierce this turn, right? Let's also see what they fetch. If I'm gonna cast a Spell Pierce this turn, and then I'm going to expressive iteration the following turn, then I'm gonna want to be able to cast a 1-drop off the expressive, and then I'm only gonna have 1 mana left over. Ice. Oh, so they're playing Cascade. Do I just want to counter this? How many 2-drops do they play? They play like Brazen Borrower. I don't think I care about this. I'll let it resolve. The mana doesn't actually matter for me here. I don't think we're gonna be able to play both. I will spell snare that though. They missed on their land. Wow, that's so good for me. Okay, so we're gonna fetch for a tap Seam Vents, and then we're definitely just gonna cast this expressive iteration. We need to find a threat like now. I'll take any threat. Okay, so I'm probably gonna cast the Consider here. I could also take the Bolt. It's not the worst. I kind of want the counterspell. Let's take the counterspell, and then I will cast the Consider. We're ahead right now. We don't want that. Okay. Play my land and say go. We have Spell Pierce up. We have the Consider for the end step. I'll counter any spell that they play. I mean, they just conceded. Let's go. I also feel like the last time we played this person, they also conceded super early. Okay, so game 2. They're not playing Cascade because they played Growth Spiral. So, what are they playing? Maybe like a Scapeshift deck? Whatever it is, Blood Moon's gotta come in. I don't know what they're doing, but Blood Moon feels really important here. I'm gonna keep the Spell Pierces and the Spell Snare just in case. I probably don't want Dragon's Rage Channeler. I have a feeling that Renin 6 is a real thing. I just don't know what they're doing. Like, are they playing Indomitable Creativity? What plays Growth Spiral? You know what? We might as well pull up our friend, MTG Goldfish. Another valuable use for this, right? So we go to decks, we go to metagame, we go over here, find advanced search options. We want tournaments only, and we want modern. And we're going to type in Growth Spiral and Fire Ice, because those are two pretty distinct cards. Teamer Scapeshift did well in a recent tournament. It plays a Besaju, it plays Growth Spiral. This is probably what they're playing. They're going to bring in Endurance against me. They're going to bring in maybe Veil of Summer, probably Spell Pierce. They could bring the Chalices. That's probably pretty good. Subtlety seems okay. Engineer Explosive seems meh. Flusterstorm doesn't really do very much. Oh, I guess it hits all these, huh? So I guess we do want those somehow. Lightning Bolt does not really hit anything. So we can like probably like cut these for Flusterstorms and maybe like another bolt for a Fury, because that can hit both the Dryad and the Renin 6 and the Endurance. There are too many cards in the sideboard. Oh, I need to bring in one card. Oh my goodness. Um, subtlety? Yeah, let's bring in the subtlety. Let's try it out. The hand is good. Hand's good. I'm not gonna mull it. I wonder if this is the 20th land. Triome, go. No reason for me to not play this Ragavan on the first turn. Let's just pray that they don't have Ren. Nah, there's no way, right? This is not a very good draw. They do play 4 lightning bolts, which would be the only way to be able to kill a resolved ledger shredder. Oh, let me play a land. Oh, you let me play a land? Wow. Okay, so if they attempt to kill this, I'm gonna counter it, but I don't think they have a kill spell. I think this Ragavan's connecting. It is. We hit a land. Okay. I think I'm just gonna pass. I could play a ledger shredder here, but like most likely they're gonna like play growth spiral or something. They played nothing. So they might like expressive iteration here. They're just passing again. That's not good for them. Third ledger shredder. You know what's better than the first and the second? Wow, Ragavan is connected twice. We hit Aether Gust. Interesting. I mean, let's play a ledger shredder. Our hand is friggin' full of them. Go. They brought in Aether Gust against me. I think it's an odd choice. I don't think Aether Gust is very good against me, to be honest. Okay, so their hand feels like a scape shift hand. I also have a feeling that they're going to end up fetching for. There's one Dwarven mine in the 75. I think I'm still just going to attack into it. I mean, they have to fetch here. They just took it. Okay. Wilderness Reclamation. Holy moly. Did I play a land this turn? I have not. That makes me want to cast it expressive. We're just kind of sitting here. So let's play an expressive. Let's see if we hit a land drop. We did not hit a land drop. We'll take the Blood Moon. Because we might be able to Blood Moon them out of the game. And we can pretty easily fetch for a basic here and just consider. Get a trigger. Maybe we hit a land. We did not, but we can pitch one of the shredders. I don't think we need 3. I don't think I want the Blood Moon. And we hit a land. Wow. Okay. Go. We're set up for I don't think they can win the game. I think the game is pretty much over. Third Triumph. Wow. Okay. They definitely should get a basic. They are playing very greedy. So they're not playing this list is what that is telling me. Okay. I'm going to play my lands. I'm going to enter combat, and I'm going to hit them. And then main phase 2 will cast the Blood Moon, and that should probably end the game. They haven't casted a single spell. Okay, I will fetch for my last basic. And we will jam. This is a very long pause. Archmage Charm. Target player draws 2. We can actually spell pierce them here, interestingly enough. We can spell pierce them because they have to find Boseiju mana. Draw. We discard a land, I guess. So they have to let the spell pierce resolve, otherwise they won't be able to make Boseiju mana. There's the Boseiju mana. Okay. Yep. Yep. I will get a Steam Vents. I guess I get it untapped because there's no difference here, I don't think. I could play a Ledger Shredder. I kind of want to hold my treasures, though. Like, if I just get to untap, I think we're, like, pretty set up. I'm just going to flusterstorm because this is actually free. Like, they have to pay 2 and they can only make 1. Oh, my goodness. I feel so bad for this person, Mistaken, whoever you are out there. I don't know if you watch my channel. Probably don't, but I appreciate you. I'm sorry that I've... Off to the next one. Alrighty. Round number 2. We are on the draw. And our opponent has kept 7. So interesting. If this is the 20th land, this hand is actually like... It helps make the hand good. If our opponent has a turn on Ragavan, we are screwed. But I'm still going to keep it because this hand has a lot of potential. Our opponent has F6 through their first turn. That definitely helps. I think that means I just play a spirebluff and I pass now. So we are now ahead on cards. I'm going to consider, and I'm definitely going to bin this. I don't really think I want the second murktide right now. Ooh, okay. Do I want to play around a lightning bolt? It's kind of a question. They just want like copper line go. I just feel like we're not going to be doing anything. I guess we could play around a Ren, so I'll pass. This is way more disciplined. Like, I kind of want to just jam the Ledger Shredder, and it feels like they F6'd, but... Ooh, an Urza Saga. Now I definitely wish that I played a Ledger Shredder. Ooh, that's really good. They're playing, like, a combo deck of some sort. That's not good for me. And we can... Ooh, oh boy, they're playing, like, trash for treasure. Okay. So... I can still fetch for a Steam Vents here, because we're not playing Blood Moon in the main. And so we're going to Ledger Shredder, and then we're going to Bauble, trigger, see what we draw. Draw. I think I'm going to get rid of a land, even though that lets my creature die to bolt here. Yeah, I'll get rid of a Scalding Tarn. And then we'll bubble ourselves, see what we're going to draw. A Dragon's Rage Channeler. We probably don't want that. I think that we're going to end up delving our graveyard away. So I'm going to fetch for Steam Vents here, our last Steam Vents, in case we draw a bolt, and I'll say go. Well, now we have the Spell Pierce up for Trash for Treasure. We didn't draw a bolt, so it's kind of a shame, but no biggie. They're just land go. Fair. Do I want to just jam a Murktide this turn? So like if we hit a 1-drop, I'm gonna want to play the 1-drop if we cast Expressive. I definitely want to get rid of some of these cards in my hand. So you know what? I will play Expressive. See what happens. Ooh. Now I can get rid of the Goblin Engineer. That's pretty nice. So I'll take Unholy Heat, I guess, because that kills bigger things. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll bolt this. Let's play a fetch land. No, we might want the red mana. I'm just gonna shock myself again, and we'll bolt this. And we'll most likely get rid of the spirebluff canal. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that, like, I just don't want these lands anymore. And then I'm going to hold the bauble because we're most likely going to get a trigger out of it next turn. And I am going to attack because they're just going to make 2 Urzasaka tokens most likely, and I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. So, like, yeah, they're most likely just going to make 2 Urzasaka tokens, and then they'll both be 3/3s, and then I won't be able to block anyway. I could unholy heat 1 and block, I guess. I wonder what they're going to get. Maybe like a welding jar? Or Underworld Cookbook. Okay. That makes sense. Alright, so I'm definitely just going to kill this construct that's about to hit me. It's just way too big. Like, I don't want to take 4 damage here. Oh, that was actually quite a good draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can make an 8/8 murktide here. I think that's pretty worth it. Let's do it. Play the bolt. Play murktide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trigger. Draw. How much does this extra point of damage matter? 8/8 murktide, so they go to 18 this turn. They could go to 17 this turn. I don't think it matters. I'm just going to discard the lands. Because, again, we don't really need these lands right now. And I kind of want to bauble myself. Like, I kind of want to make sure we don't draw any more lands. Like, now I'm super happy that I did that, because now I get to fetch away. And I'll still hit them for 1. I don't think it's going to matter, because they can still, like, gain life with Underworld Cookbook. So we just have to make sure this Murktide ends up running away with the game. Ooh, another Murktide. Now, we don't have a graveyard for it, but I don't think that matters right now. I don't really want to spell pierce it, and I definitely don't want to counterspell it. Okay. It's fair. Very fair. Trigger. That's a good trigger. Kind of interesting. Do I want to get rid of the Murktide? I kind of do. Like, it depends on how much the spell pierce is going to end up mattering. That's really what matters. This is the only other Murktide that I have. Am I going to be able to, like, do any... maybe the getting rid of the lightning bolt is better. Because the second Murktide pumps the first one. And it also essentially does the same thing as a Murktide. Or as a lightning bolt. As in, this bolt is pretty much just going to kill the Ragavan. So I'm going to get rid of the bolt. And now it is my turn. Ooh, that was actually a good draw. We're going to do that. We'll bin. We drew one anyway. Okay, so we will Murktide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, get rid of all these lands. Triggers, triggers, triggers all around. Draw. I guess the Dragon's Rage Channeler we don't really need right now. And I figure... Do I need to hit them with both? Am I playing around something? They have creature, artifact, enchantment, land, so they could technically, like, unholy heat one of my creatures. Is that relevant? Let's just hit them for 10. Let's play, like, a little safe. I'm only playing a little bit more safe because I don't have a third land for the counterspell and spell pierce. Like, if they trash for treasure here, then I'm not going to be... I can only cast 1 counterspell. So let's see what they get off the trigger. they get a ragavan. So I counter this for surezies. Do they have 2 mana? They do have 2 mana, so I have to counterspell. All right, we won. We won. Thank goodness they did not have a Veil of Summer. That would have really, really stunk. Okay, so I don't actually know. I've played against this deck before, but I am not very well versed in what their list is made up of. So we're going to use the same exact website. Tournaments, we're going to type in Scrapyard Mutt. Is it Mutt? I guess Urza Saga and Trash for Treasure. Figured I should have just done Trash for Treasure first. What? Tournaments. Okay, let's go back past 3 months. Mono Red Reanimator. Okay. So this is what they're playing. They're going to bring in maybe Defense Grid. So Spell Snare only hits 8 cards, meaning that I can pretty happily board out that. Spell Pierce, they actually play a lot more creatures than anything else. Spell Pierce hits the Trash for Treasure, which is very annoying. But I actually think that I can cut these pretty reasonably. And I want to bring in a Fury because they do play 4-season Pyromancer. I most likely want to bring in Dress Downs because they stop a lot of the enter the battlefield triggers. Abrade seems okay. It doesn't seem great. It hits the 1 Underworld cookbook. It hits the portal to Phyrexia when it's already entered the battlefield. Like, how badly do I want to be able to stop that, you know? They don't play Lightning Bolt. They don't play any way of getting rid of my creatures. But they do play a bunch of, like, smaller creatures that block Ragavan pretty well, including the Seasoned Pyromancers. I don't know how good Engineered Explosives is either. I'm going to bring in the Abrade because I feel like I probably have to. And I'll cut a Ledger Shredder. We're on the draw. I feel like Ledger Shredder's a little bit worse. It's 2 mana. It's a little bulky. Right? Yeah, I think this makes sense. And we have to submit with the 61. Okay, well, it doesn't kill a turn 1 Ragavan. That is definitely a downside, but it gives us a lot of looks for 1. So I'm going to keep it, and we're going to pray that they just don't. The only thing we care about is turn 1 Ragavan. Awesome. Okay. How much do we care about thinning the deck? I guess let's just shock. Let's just shock and say go. Represent a lightning bolt for. I will take 1. Pirate Spellbomb resolves. Consider. See what we can get. Bauble, we probably don't want. Okay. Do I want to just, like, make them crack the Pirate Spellbomb? I guess I would rather hold up Counterspell. We're really just, like, sitting here doing nothing. I'm not worried about taking 1 damage over and over again. We're eventually going to get a Ledger Shredder down or something, and they're just drawing a card. That's good for me. It seems like they're looking for a land, but that's not necessarily true. They did play their, what is this? Shinka on the 2nd main phase. That we can definitely counter. We don't have a removal spell. We have 1 Abrade, and I'd rather just counter it. Okay, so I'm going to play this Dragon's Rage Channeler and feel pretty good about it, because We have so many different ways to try to fuel this DRC, get it going. And we realistically can probably like double consider into a murktide next turn. If we're able to find like murktide land and hold up a counterspell and just play them, we'll probably end up winning. I mean, it's going to be at least a 7/7. Wonder what they're thinking about. I'm thinking about trees. Trees are cool. All right, opponent. Show me something cool. I'm ready. My body is ready. That's mid. And look, you drew an unplayable card. Oh, are you going to cast it, sacking your might to bring back a dragon? That's pretty good, I guess. I do counterspell it. And I guess that ends up being a 1-for-1. Because I don't actually know. Like, I'm definitely favored encountering this. I'm trying to figure out, like, the math on, like, oh, they don't even want to cast it. Oh, they want to go to their... Sure, I'll take one. I could go for, like, I can go for Delirium and, like, try to block, but... So that resolves. And then I'll shock myself. We probably end up needing red mana. Oh, they want to get Pyrite Spellbomb back. Whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't realize what they targeted. I don't think I care. I think that's fine. I think they're looking for a draw spell. It means they really like their hand. That's what that means, which is interesting. So let's consider. We're looking for... Well, that turns on Delirium. We're like pretty much like just looking for like Murktide. We could put that into the grave. We could put that into the grave. Okay. That's not a bad one either. Let's hit them for 3. And then I'm probably just going to pass. No reason for me to like... I have so much removal right now that like... The moment they cast anything, I'm going to attempt to kill it. Okay. It's kind of annoying. I will probably lightning bolt their fate. Will I? That's a good question. Is this a cast? This is a cast, right? So that triggers. They exile a scrapyard, whatever. Okay. I am probably just going to counter this. Trigger. We can put a ragavan into the grave, I suppose. And then they're just going to scrap work for sure. Yeah. So do I want to lightning bolt this or do I want to unholy heat it? This comes back as a 3 as a 2/2. So I guess I can unholy heat it. I guess I want to hold the unholy heat in case the Urza Saga token gets out of control. So I guess I'll bolt it. I don't need to, but I like don't want it on the table right now. Like I don't want to be like I'm trying to be the aggressor. I'm trying to like keep something going, and I don't want to like just take damage. I kind of want to cast this expressive though. Like if we don't hit a land, we're screwed, but we are playing 20 lands. All right, screw it. We're playing 20 lands. Let's do it. We're going to get All right, there's a land. That's what we wanted. Ragavan. Do we want to increase the clock? Or are we still like looking for a Murktide right now? I still kind of want to look for a murktide. Hand, bottom, exile, play this. Trigger. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I don't think that's good though. I think I'll bin it. And then I think we'll play this, and then we'll bauble ourselves, and let's see what we're gonna look at. Another expressive. It's like not bad. It's kind of like a draw spell. I kind of wish it was like more of like a consider. I guess we keep it. I guess we keep it because like if we just draw like a lands, then we're gonna want the expressive, so we can try to find a murktide eventually. It really depends on like what they make me do here. Like if they make me use my counterspell. Like I want this in case they do make me have to use my counterspell. Sure. It's a cantrip essentially. And a cantrip into a cantrip. It's kind of funny. It's pretty good. I don't think they can play that. Oh, they are. Interesting. They need to hit a land if they don't have a land. They do have a land. Jeez. It's pretty lucky. Well, I'm definitely glad that I kept the unholy heat because this Urza Saga is going to be absurd. What if I should have counterspelled? I'm gonna fetch on the unstep. We're gonna get tap lands. We're gonna need the lands, which is why I did it, but that was not a good draw. All right, so they're gonna make an Urza Saga token. How big is it going to be? It is a 5/5. I'm just gonna kill it. I don't really want to look at it anymore. I don't want to accidentally, like, you know. There's the murktide that we have been so... I didn't play a land. Dang, I didn't play a land. It's okay. We'll make this work. We'll make this turn work. So they're probably just going to make another Urza Saga token. Do they play Welding Jar in the 75? Pithing Needle, Haywire Mites, Shadow Spear, Underworld Cookbook. I don't see one, so I'm going to let this resolve, and then I'm going to cry when they get a Welding Jar. Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal. I mean, they're just going to exile my graveyard. That is almost a guarantee. Sure. Okay. Please don't hit another Urza Saga. Oh my god. How did I know? How did I know? How did I know? Don't exile my graveyard? Oh boy, there's their one of their win conditions. I will take 3. I guess I could bolt, but let me go to my main phase. Please let me go to my main phase. Brutal. There's my grave. I guess I'm just gonna abrade this so that I can bin the murktide. Because I don't want it anymore. That's for sure. Bin that. Alright. That made them crack the pirate spell bomb. I don't know if we're gonna be able to win this game in particular. We're not in a good spot. I think we need to expressive, right? Like we're just sitting here doing nothing. Well, that's kind of interesting. I guess we're gonna need the unholy heat. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna need the unholy heat. And then if that's the case, then I should take the Dragon's Rage Channeler because it's the only card that I can cast. It's kind of a shame. I want this Murktide really bad. Do I want the Murktide worse? Like, do I want Murktide more. Like, if I know that I'm going to cast it next turn, does that make me happier? No. I feel like I need to do this. And I'm going to go to 5, too, which is pretty low. But we need them to not draw something good, which, I mean, they have a lot of different looks at cards. They could sack any number of these. So it seems like they have trash or treasure as the last card in their hands. Oh, they're unearthing that. Okay, so we're going to have to chump block this dragon in order to live. Yeah, I'm definitely trumping this. I just didn't think that we could, like, sit here and do nothing. I wonder how much missing that land drop actually mattered. I guess a reasonable amount. Okay, that's a good draw. Let's see what happens. Hands, bottom, exile. Well, we now can get a land into the grave. I'm going to 2. I mean, I'm going to play the ragavan. Going to play the ragavan, and then I'm probably going to have to end up fetching to kill the Ursa Saga token that they're going to get. But I want to be able to... I don't even know. I don't even know what I want to do. I want to live. I want to live. Them hitting the second Urza Saga was the backbreaker. I knew it in my bones they were gonna hit it too. I knew it. Knew it in my bones. Yup. Resolves. Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything about this. I mean, I can kill their construct token in response, I guess. Cookbook. Okay, so now this is my chance to kill the construct token. It is dead. Monkey. Sure. That's kind of interesting. I can go to 1. How good is going to 1? What does that mean for me? I get to hit them. Just hitting them, like... I don't know how I'm going to win, so I honestly feel like going to 1 is probably fine. Like... Okay, let's block. Let's block the Ragavan and then see if they activate their land. Alright, so they did, and now I get to kill the Ragavan. And they're tapped out. I am at 1. Oh boy, I wish I had like a shadow spear so I could take that shadow I wish I had an Archmage Charm to take the shadow spear. Ooh. That's interesting. Well, Fiery Islet is not going to be doing anything. Let's hit them. Let's see what we get. I don't think that we're not hitting them. I guess I could not hit them and play around another dashed Ragavan. I have a counterspell. So I'll hit them. Let's see what we get. We hit trash for treasure. Sack an artifact, return artifact from your graveyard. So let's draw a card now. That's actually a really good draw. Let's play our land that we neglected to play for our multiple turns. I neglected to play. You didn't. You watched me neglect to play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. I mean, might as well. We have counterspell. We have unholy heat. Seems like they're sacking the Underworld cookbook, maybe? Wonder if they're gonna like try to go for lethal, like return the ragavan to the hand. Okay, they're gonna sack a synthesizer. They hit a defense grid. Interesting. Okay. I actually like kind of have to counter this. Because if they play, I guess if they play like a dashed ragavan, I still can kill the dashed ragavan. With an unholy heat. How do I get screwed here? What, like, okay, what's like the worst last card in their hand that they could have? It costs 3 more. Jeez. Yeah, so I have to counter it because if the last card in their hand is ragavan, then I lose. Sad. Very sad. It's a scrap work mutt. Interesting. Okay, so they are going to be able to try to go for lethal here. And we are going to be able to stop them, so that's pretty nice. So we kill 1. And then we block. All right. We are still at 1. If we draw a lightning bolt, we win. Lightning bolt wins. That's not a lightning bolt. However, we can pretty much force them to trade. Let's force them to trade. Oh, they didn't trade. Okay. Oh my god, we hit lethal. My opponent says LOL in the chat. Oh. The only card in the deck that could kill them. That is unbelievable. Oh. Oh my god. GG's. Off to the next one. Alrighty, round number 3, and we don't have any lands in our 20 land deck. Holy moly. I'm going to keep this hand, but I'm not very happy about it. Our opponent is on 6. I'm just going to pray that our 20 land deck is able to provide us a second land. And I think that we're throwing him back. It's like we play more red sources than like, right? Like we play a lot of red sources. What do we want to throw back? Like if we draw an island or an otawara, like we're obviously just screwed. We want the removal spell. We want at least 1 ledger shredder. We could throw back the second ledger shredder. Yeah, let's throw back the second ledger shredder. Because like if we do get the land, like we're gonna want to like get more cards to like try to keep up with whatever our opponent is doing. Like assuming that, you know, assuming we get there. If we don't get there, then we're just like, it's over. Oh, don't turn 1 ragavan me. No, please. Please, red source. Well, we probably lose. Probably lose, sadly. Windswept Heath. Brutal. I can't believe that we only had, we were playing 20 lands and we see so few. None in that opener. Oh my god. We're just not going to see it. We're not going to see it. Look, they're going to hit it. It's going to be a steam vents. Expressive. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. The hood is coming up until we hit our land. Yup. Oh, there was the steam vents. This game is so over. I just want to figure out what they're playing. Some multicolored nonsense. I'm gonna play for information because their deck is really odd. I'm just gonna play for information. Okay, they are playing a basic. Icefang Coatl. Okay, Ragavan, Icefang Coatl. Let's not show them anything that they wouldn't actually like see. So let's like get rid of the counterspell. Okay, so we want to, while we're just sitting here taking damage, let's see if we can find a deck list that has Ragavan and Icefang Coatl in it. Modern tournaments, Icefang. And then Ragavan. And Rogrin. Triome. And Fable. The Mirror Breaker. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, let's see what happens. 10 rack and Battle of Wits. Well, it's definitely not Battle of Wits. So this is most likely the list that they are playing. They are playing a Sacred Foundry. Okay, yeah, this is probably what they're playing. So we hit a land, but this game is essentially over. Do I want to keep playing for information? I think so. I'll play my land and I'll say go. And then we'll see what they discard to the Fable, just to like guarantee that we are playing this deck. More lands. Okay, I'm gonna concede now because if I don't want them to see more of my deck, like they might see like a Ledger Shredder or something. Okay, well, the amount of basics that they play is 3. So Blood Moons are definitely coming in. We can take the hood off now. Blood Moon's definitely coming in. They play 4 Solitude, 2 Fury. They're going to bring in all 4 Endurance, almost guaranteed. We're going to bring in the Subtlety then. We're going to bring in Fury, most likely. Lightning Bolt hits Ragavan. It hits Icefang. They don't play Lightning Bolts, but they play Prismatic Endings, Solitudes. So I guess like the Dragon's Rage Channelers aren't very good. The Spell Snare hits Ren, Expressive, Icefang, and Prismatic Ending on 2. And they do play Omnath, so we got to bring in Dress Downs as well. Jeez. So I guess like the Spell Pierces aren't very good. I like to bring like cut a Ledger Shredder because boy, they're just really clunky. And then they are playing Leyline Bindings, so we can probably cut a Murktide. It's just like so weird to like cut these threats that we really want. Cut like Spell Pierce. Do we want Mystical Dispute? It hits Icefang, Omnath, Teferi, Expressive. It's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe Ledger Shredder is like actually quite good. Depends. It's a little awkward. Let's... Do I want the lightning bolt? It hits Fury, it hits Solitude. If they Ren minus, so I guess I'll cut the Spell Pierce and we'll play it like this. I'm down for this. This makes sense. Sorry, I forgot to move my camera. Well, turn one Ragavan. Can't complain. Cannot complain. And we have lands. Look at all these lands. Crazy. Honestly, I completely forgot we were playing this many lands. Our opponent has mulled to 6. That's pretty good. We're just going to jam Ragavan. I'm not going to play the bauble because we might draw Ledger Treader next turn. And we have a fetch land for the bauble the following turn. But Ragavan, have nothing. Just no prismatic ending, no solitude, no fury. What is that, 10 cards? Come on, what are the odds? You don't have any of those cards. Ooh. Ooh. All right, let's go to combat. They obviously don't have it. Give me something good. Land. Okay, well, I'm going to bauble myself. See what we get. It is another land. We do not want the land. We kind of want a basic for Blood Moons. But we kind of want red sources. I'm going to get the basic just in case, because Blood Moon is just such a game winner. It's such a game winner against them. They're probably going to get a Triome, yeah. Give me a counterspell. There's the Blood Moon. That's what I was saying. Now what's really cool is that if they play a Ren in 6 here, so they have to like fetch for, like they're gonna probably shock and play a Ren in 6. It resolves. I can't do anything about that, but they're gonna minus on the Ragavan. I'm gonna lightning bolt Ren. That's gonna resolve. I'm gonna go to my turn. We're just gonna jam this Blood Moon. And then we're gonna play Ragavan. They only play Fury, so maybe we don't play Ragavan. They might dash the Ragavan. I'm gonna pass. I'm not gonna show them Ragavan. Don't have a basic. Yes! Let's go. Alright, monkey. Here we go. Dash time. Teferi. Give me Teferi. They just conceded. Okay. Alright. We got game 1 stolen from us, and then we stole game 2. How do we want to play this differently when we're on the draw? The draw is a little bit harder. It makes me want to bring in the spell pierces a little more, because it hits the Fable, it hits Ren in 6, hits Teferi. But, like, it's so bad in the late game. It's, like, so bad. Like, against 5 color, we wouldn't want these spell pierces, right? Let's see what a free sideboard guide from Andrea Mengucci would say. Against 4 color elementals. Is he playing any spell pierces in the main? He is. Okay. All the Dragon Troll Channelers, they would cut spell pierces, a bolt and a brazen. And they pretty much board exactly like me. Like pretty much no different. Are they playing a spell snare in the main? They are. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I agree with this. It's such a shame because I want these spell pierces, but it makes a lot of sense what they do here. Like I can cut the bolt for the 4th Ledger Shredder, but I want to answer a Ragavan. Like I don't 4 color elementals, like that list does not play Ragavan. So let's just submit it as it is, and we'll you know, All right, so there it is, the bolt that could have been a spell snare or spell pierce. Let's hope they mull. That'd be really cool. They've mulliganed the other games. Why not this one, right? Oh, they mulled.
Nut.
We're definitely keeping. Go to 5. Go to 5. Okay, they kept 6. All right. I know it's bad sportsmanship, but like, who cares? It's a league. Can you imagine? Can you imagine in like high stakes, RCQ or like SCG Open, and you're like 5. Spell snare would be a sick draw. Okay, well, I'm probably just gonna jam this ragavan. They don't have an instant speed way of answering it. They have to Ren and 6 it. And if they Ren and 6 it, that means that I can bolt it out of range. I know it's my only threat. Ooh, okay. They're just fetching a response? Sure. Do I want to bauble? That's kind of a good question. If I draw like another fetch lands, I don't want to bauble. So I'm not going to bauble, but I'm going to bauble next turn no matter what we draw. Like it's 100% guarantee I'm going to bauble because I need to hit another lands. They're probably just going to jam a Ren, I assume. Oh, a leyline binding. Oh, okay. Interesting. So no Ren. That's great for me. Ooh, that was a good draw. Okay, so now we get to bauble with upside. Dress down. It just kind of stinks that I think what they're going to do is I think they're just going to go land go. And then on my turn, they're going to endurance me. And then I'm going to have to counterspell it. And then I'm not going to be able to do anything about what they do. Like, I'm just going to take a beating from it. But I don't really have much of a choice. I kind of like have to let it resolve, actually. So I guess I'm just going to play an island and say go. Like, I can't beat the endurance that they're going to play. Hopefully they just play something main phase. Like they just jam to fairy or something. Or maybe they just don't have a land. That'd be cool too. That'd be so incredible. Okay, they have the land, but it's not a green land. That's really important. And they're passing. Interesting. What do they play? What's in their deck that's like instant speed? Let's pull up the good old deck list, huh? What do they play that's instant speed? Leyline? Ice Fang Quaddle. So they're probably holding up Ice Fang. So that gives me permission to consider. Do I want another expressive iteration? Like, I can barely cast the first. Like, I'm not going to be able to cast it this turn. I guess I'll bin it. That's not a bad draw either. I'm just going to cast it. Bolts. I don't think I want that. Yeah, I think I actually would rather have a land than a bolt, to be honest. Okay. Well, I'm going to take a beating from this Ice Fang. A beating as in 1 damage every turn. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. I can't not hold up a counterspell here. Oh, they're cycling Triome. That's even better for me. Our opponent has also, I just realized, is playing more than 60 cards. Interesting. Do I want to fetch and counter this? No, I'm just going to regular counter. Nothing special. Okay, my turn. I think we're going to expressive here. Yeah, I think I would rather expressive. It seems like they're holding up a leyline binding, so. Holy moly. Okay, so unholy heat's going to hand. This is going to bottom. This is going to exile. And I am most definitely playing the Ragavan and then just holding up unholy heat, I guess. It's kind of a shame that we're not getting basics, but. We do have lands for days. It is kind of a shame that they are going to be able to get an Omnath trigger if that is what they choose to do. But they won't be able to get the mana front of it. So like they play Omnath, they play a land, trigger, they gain the life, and then if they try to crack it, then I get to kill it. Yep, so that resolves, sadly. I guess I can kill it now. Yeah, let's just kill it now. What am I saying? I can just kill it before he does anything. It is dead. Goodbye. Draw your card. So they're going to fetch for... they have to shock themselves to get rid of this Ragavan. That feels pretty good. Is it a prismatic ending? Probably, right? I hope it's a leyline binding, but no, it's not. Okay. Sure. Ooh, another... Oh. So I can Ledger Shredder, dash Ragavan, and do all the things. 1, 2. Trigger. Draw. Wow, that was an insane draw. Boy, was that a good draw. Do I want to get rid of the lightning bolt, which is putting them closer to lethal, or do I want to get rid of the dress down, which is going to be able to turn off one of like an ETB trigger? Oh, that's a really hard decision. It turns off Solitude. Oh no. I think that this is the decision. This right here is the decision that is going to like decide the entirety of the game. Right here. This is it. I think it's the dress down. I think it's the dress down. Do they have second Omnath? If they second Omnath, I have to counterspell it. All right, I'm going to get rid of the dress down. We're going to play my land for turn. Hit him to 8. We had a Misty. Kind of wish we had a spell. I really wanted them to draw lands, but... All right. I have one thing to do. It resolves. Sad, sad, sad. It resolves. I just can't let an Omnath resolve. That's the problem. I have to kind of just like let their removal do their thing. White, red, green. Okay, so this is what I counterspell. Boy, I'd love to draw Blood Moon. Oh no. All right, well, time to find out if pitching the dress down was the ultimate mistake, right? Like we can hit something here. So many good things. That's a good thing. Oh boy, is that a good thing. Oh, so close to double lightning bolt. We were so close. Hand, bottom, exile. Well, we don't have any more red sources, so no reason to not just like play this, get the basic, and then cast the consider. We might get a counterspell. That'd be pretty incredible. Bin. I don't think I want to play this Ledger Shredder. I think I still want to hold up Unholy Heat and kill an Omnath in response to its trigger. Say go. Oh, we're so close. So close. Red, white. Dash, monkey. Enter combat. I am going to Unholy Heat this. Now I lose to an endurance. Shredder. Bauble, trigger. Get rid of the Ragavan. I'm just going to jam this Murktide so I don't get enduranced. And just like absolutely lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are you drawing? You're drawing a land. Go. Give me a counterspell. Give me a counterspell. You have 1 card in hand. You have one card in hand. Is it an Omnath? That's really the question, right? Okay. I'll take a... We won. Oh, my goodness. We wouldn't have even drawn the land. We would have drawn... We would have drawn... we don't know if this is the 20th land, but holy moly, that was so close. We are 3-0 with a 61 card murktide deck. Alrighty. Wow, that was so close. Next one. Alrighty, round number 4 with our 61 card deck. We're on the draw. I think that's something that's important when it comes to like narrating these matches is thinking about that sometimes I like put on a Magic video while I'm driving. Like I don't watch it. I just like want to listen to it. Like I put it through my speaker. And I think I want to be able to narrate the game so you could be able to follow along while you're no longer looking at the video. Okay, I think our opening hand is a keep, but I think it's close. 4 lands with a turn 1 ragavan, a counterspell, and a consider. That's like, it's like pretty good. If they have turn 1 ragavan, we're probably in a world of hurt, but Castle Lochthwain. Okay, so they're playing mono black control. So we got to jam this ragavan and just hope that it ends up like doing something. The way that we win is we pressure them. Dang, they had the removal spell. That's a shame. Ooh, but second ragavan is pretty good. I think I want to hold counterspell though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold the counterspell up just in case. Like I could play ragavan and consider. I could dash ragavan. I just think that it's better for me to just pass, consider on the end step, try to find like some other piece of action. Suspend profane tutor. Okay, so we're gonna suspend the we're gonna cast the consider. Ooh, do I want a Dragon's Rage Channeler? It's actually like not that bad because it is a threat. It's just like not like, great right now. Like we're gonna want to protect the ragavan. I'm gonna bin it. Bolt is not great either. Okay, so I'm just gonna play a basic, and I'm gonna play the ragavan here, and we're just gonna pass. Pray they don't have another fatal push. They did not. Okay. I will probably counter. Okay, they're drawing 2 and losing 2. I will not counter that. I care more about my ragavan dying than I care about them drawing cards right now. Relic is also fine. Kind of a good reason we got rid of the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Sure, I'll get rid of a ragavan, I guess. Do I want to cast a consider on the end step? Like, do I think they have a fatal push? No, I don't think they do. I think I'm just gonna do it. Ooh, that's like not bad right now. It's not bad. We're gonna get a land. We're gonna get a treasure from this ragavan. So expressive iteration from the consider is pretty good. All right, so they only had 1 removal. We want all the counter spells if we can, and Karn is also pretty good. March. Let's get rid of. Deal X to creature or planeswalker and you gain X. So this doesn't do anything. Do I want to play Ledger Shredder or do I want to play Expressive? Can I play both? I cannot. Because I need to be able to hold a counterspell. I suppose Ledger Shredder is like a little bit better. Because we want to get threats out. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's get the Ledger Shredder out. And the next turn we can like... I don't really know what I want from the Expressive iteration yet. I guess I could Lightning Bolt them on the end step. Do I want a Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt can kill Karn. But it's most likely going to go face anyway. I don't think we want the land in our hand. Yeah, okay, let's Lightning Bolt them. Let's get the trigger. Draw. They're going to end up getting rid of my graveyard. So let's get rid of the Dragon's Rage Channeler. We don't want that. Yep. Am I supposed to counter the Profane Tutor? Do I counter what they tutor for? Do I counter the tutor or do I counter what they tutor for? I think I'm just going to let this resolve. We have 1 counter spell. It's just like, it's so weird to counter the spell that's free and then just like tap out for the rest of my turn. Like if I counter this and they play an invoke, you know, whatever, then... So trigger? We do get a trigger, so that's pretty nice. Interesting. I think I am going to counterspell what they do here. So I'll get rid of the lands, and then I'm going to counterspell this. They can play a Karn, I guess. And then they minus, but I still get to kill the Karn here. So I guess it depends on what they get, right? We got to make sure... Okay, so they got Cityscape Leveler. So we got to make sure that they... So they're probably going to have the ramp card next turn. It's going to be really annoying. Let's cast the Expressive, because we want to be able to get our Ledger Shredder up. Oh my goodness. Double Lightning Bolt. Can we kill them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're so close. We are so close to killing them. Hand, bottom, exile. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna bolt them. Trigger. Do I want a ragavan? Do I want a bauble? I'll get rid of the ragavan, I guess. Do I want to kill Karn? That is the question here. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to try to go face. What does mono black play in their sideboard? That is the big question, huh? So let's once again, like we've done throughout this entire video, let's pull up our trusty MTG Goldfish. Decks, popular metagames, advanced search, tournament, modern, and we're looking for Urborg, Tomb, Tarn, the Great Creator, search. All right, mono black control. Let's see what they can get. Walking Ballista, Ensnaring Bridge, but they're not going to be able to dump their hands. Portal. How much mana are they going to be able to make? They play that land that ramps them. It makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they can get Portal Defrexia. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. How much do I want to play into the 4th Lightning Bolt? I guess not. Okay, I guess I have to kill the Karn. It's kind of a shame. But yeah, I think that the numbers say that, like, I can't let them just get, like, a portal. Wish it wasn't that way. Karn. Any reason to not bauble? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna bauble, because if I hit a they're gonna draw a swamp. If I hit a counterspell here, then I think that we're pretty good. Murktide. Okay. They had the Cabal Coffers. Okay, so now in comes a Cityscape Leveler to destroy the Ledger Shredder. Gross. Gross. Okay, how do we win? How do we win? So I think it starts with an expressive iteration. Double Murktide. That's something. It's definitely something. Hands, bottom, exile. I think that we win through a double Murktide. And we just pray that they don't have a way of getting rid of the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Murktide number 2. Oh, we don't have enough mana. Crap. Well, I'm gonna attack, and we're just gonna make sure that they can't. They block, right? They have to block, and then now I can play the Murktide. And then we hope they don't have Invoke Despair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. This is it. This is all I have. I don't think that I can do any better than this. But, I mean, it's pretty good. No Invoke Despair. Go for the throat. 7 mana. There's the Invoke Despair. All right, I'll concede. No reason to continue here. I don't think that I'm going to be able to beat this. Okay. All right. Game number 2. Mono black. Kind of annoying deck to play against. A deck that we need to be able to go under. Because they are a control deck. So let's see. Does good old Andrea have any tips or tricks about this? He does not. It's not a very popular deck. So what I've done in the past is Blood Moons, because we need to be able to like turn off their utility lands because they're really annoying. Like when they have them, it's absurd. It's like really hard to play against. All of our creatures are actually like quite good. Like they race. Subtlety is actually not bad either because it does hit Karn and it is an instant speed threat. Ledger Shredder is kind of slow. They play Fatal Pushes, which are really good against Ledger Shredder. Unlicensed Source is not very good. Flusterstorm's okay. They play a lot of like random pieces of removal. And like let's look at their deck list too. Why not, right? So Spell Snare, for example, right? Night's Whisper, Edicts, stuff on the board. It's like fine. The Spell Pierces are good if they don't get the combo out. If they have the combo from their lands, then our Spell Pierces are pretty bad. I guess Flusterstorm is like technically better than Spell Pierce. Spell Snare is it's okay. Lightning Bolt doesn't hit anything, but it does go face, and we are trying to race them. The Unholy Heats don't hit anything besides Karn. So I'm kind of down to cut some number of Unholy Heats. EE doesn't really do anything. We could bring in a Flusterstorm. Do I want to cut all the Unholy Heats? It really depends. I kind of do. Let's cut them all. Let's bring in the Flusterstorm. I could bring in Fury. That's not that good. All right, I'm pleased with this. Let's do it. Let's just cross our fingers and toes. And we're on the play this time, so that's good for us. Turn 1, Ragavan? Turn 1, Dragon's Rage Channeler. We're going to keep. We have Blood Moon. We got a Flusterstorm. Just going to jam the Dragon's Rage Channeler off the spirebluff. Play a fetch land, say go. You know, they want to fatal push the... I could, like, land go, hold up, you know, like, wait for the Flusterstorm, but... let's just, like, get our creature down. Because if we can untap of it, that'd be really sweet. Like, if we draw, like, a... I don't even know. If we draw, like, a counterspell, it'd be cool. Alright, well, that's a mountain. Alrighty, they had the fatal push. Want, want. Want, want. Scalding Tarn, go. I will pretty much bin... I'll bin all lands. I don't think we want lands right now. I will probably counter whatever this is, too. Oh, it's a Profane Tutor. Okay. So we are going to be able to Blood Moon them out of the game. Most likely. Another consider. Well, I'm not doing anything, so I might as well just keep it. Just see what happens. Ragavan actually, like, fixes our mana, and we have no threats. So... I'm just gonna jam. We're gonna go get a... Just jam a Blood Moon. Deal with it. Don't have a basic swamp, even though you play how many? 10? Just don't have one. No! What a nightmare. Night's Whisper, Relic. Sure. Okay, well, let's start with dashing the Ragavan. Let's see what we get. Could be anything. Could be a puppy. Night's Whisper. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. It's like kind of annoying that like they could just play a card next turn and there's nothing I can do about it. So I guess I guess I'll hold up the red mana then. Oh, we hit a subtlety. That's kind of what we wanted to see, to be honest. Now we can play the Dragon's Rage Channeler, and we can, like, not stress about a Karn. Awesome for us. So, so good. I'm just going to let it resolve. They're probably just going to get a Karn, and they're not going to expect the subtlety to come down. Like, we're tapped out. Like, they think that they're just, like, free. Subtlety is Karn is probably the best card that they could get right now. It turns off the Ragavan. It's a really good use of all their mana. I will exile a Consider to keep as many Delirium cards in my grave as I can. I guess I could have, like, exiled the creature. Oh, they're just damnationing my Dragon's Rage Channeler? Sure, you got it. I think I'm just dashing Ragavan here. I could Expressive. Do I want Expressive? If I don't hit a land, then I'm screwed. Sadly. I could just pass. I could just pass, huh? Nah, I kind of like dashing. Let's dash. Let's hit them. Let's get another treasure so we can start developing our mana further than them. Like, as long as our colored mana starts, like, is better than theirs, like, we're probably gonna win the game. It's a difficult decision, though. There's a lot of different ways that this could go. Suspend Profane Tutor, suspend a second Profane Tutor, and then a Mountain Go. Sure. So I'll be able to counter the first one, or the second one. I'll be able to counter the second one. Sure. Okay, that's a mountain. I think I'm still dashing Ragavan here. And I'm probably just playing my lands. I don't think I'm casting Expressive this turn. I wonder if I can counter both. I probably can counter both Profane Tutors. Depends on what we hit. Damnation. Definitely not casting that one. Yeah, I'm just gonna say go. We are kind of winning right now. Sure. I think they tutored for Karn, but I could be wrong. I don't know what they tutored for off the first Profane Tutor. Do I want to Lightning Bolt them? Nah, let's just wait. Okay, let's... Do I want to dash the Ragavan? It's an interesting question. I think this is my chance to Expressive, so let's Expressive first. We hit another Expressive. Hand, bottom, exile. Play this. Let's see what they're going to draw. Or I guess they're just going to upkeep get something, huh? I guess this is a chance to just, like, play the Ragavan instead of dashing it. Like, if we dash it... Yeah, I guess I'm just going to play the Ragavan. I think they have a kill spell. So I'm just going to play it and I'm going to pass. They probably have, like, a Fatal Push or a March. Oh, they had nothing. Okay. So, do I want to counter the first one? 1, 2, and I would make them pay 3. Okay, I'm just gonna let them resolve. I think that we have all the bases covered. Number 2. So I can make them pay 3, but I think I should just let them resolve, sadly. I wonder what they get. They've triple demonic tutored. It's pretty insane. Blood Chief's Thirst. So I can make them X equals 4. Do I want to do that? It taps them out. I don't think the flusterstorm is really going to get any better, to be honest. So let's just do it. Let's just tap them out. Oh, they're paying. Interesting. So they're choosing to do nothing with their turn then. I just didn't think that the flusterstorm was really going to get any better because like we've casted like how many spells? I guess I could have like lightning bolted them and then done it. I don't think that's good though. Sure, it resolves. Ragavan is dead. If that was the purpose, then it has been done. Okay, so now I'm gonna bauble you in the end step. Let's see what you're gonna draw. The 4th profane tutor. Funny. Okay. Lands. Okay, so expressive iteration. See what we get. I know I could hold up double like lightning or counterspell and subtlety, but we're just kind of sitting here doing nothing. Interesting. So like the murktide is a win condition. The counterspell ensures that we have further protection. Depends on what they're going to do next turn. I think they're building up towards an Archon. Like, I think they're just going to try to Archon next turn. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Archon's 8 mana. So I could play this Murktide and then hold up. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Counterspell in my hand, put this in the bottom, and then the Murktide into exile. Play my land for turn. I can put them to 9. I can put them to 9. Does that matter? I think it does. 9. And then it's going to be a 7. But it could be a 6. Am I like supposed to lightning bolt? I think I am. I'm not sure though. It's lightning bolt, and then let's cast the Murktide. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. Okay. So if they cast Archon, then we have an answer. If they cast a regular removal spell, we do not have an answer. They cast a Blood Chief's Thirst, so I can't do anything about that. That's fine. It is what it is. But now... Okay, now we get to untap with counter spells and subtlety. Like, I might just honestly flash in the subtlety on the unstep. And just try to put a clock in. I mean, they're on a 3-turn clock. All right, well, we're going to subtlety that. Don't have sorcery speed kill a creature? Oh, I guess I could bounce my own subtlety. That'd be kind of cool. All right, they suspend profane tutor. Okay, we're pretty set up now. They put Karn on top as well. It's funny. So I think we should win the game from here. This is 1. Then profane's gonna go. So we pretty much have to survive the profane tutor. That's like the impending doom here. They're just passing. Okay. Go to combat again. It's kind of a shame that, like, I really don't want this to resolve. I really don't want this to resolve, but I can otawara my own subtlety. That's not that bad, actually. They don't gain the life. We get to keep the subtlety. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce it. It's kind of awkward, but I think it's a good play. And they're marching again. So I'm probably gonna flusterstorm this and then hold up the subtlety. They put the card on top, but they're gonna be shuffling. So weird. Yeah, I'm gonna fluster it. I wonder if this is bad. It's such a shame that we just don't have the colored mana. All right. Well, they get whatever they want. If they they can get a discard spell. Do they play those? Like a Thoughtseize? They might. This was a very difficult turn to navigate. I'm not entirely sure I was supposed to fluster there, but like I have to Karn this. I don't have a choice. Or I have to subtlety this Karn. I can't let them just have it. It's like, do they have second Karn? They don't. Well, we kind of have to pass because if they just have the Archon in hand, which I'm pretty sure they do, then I'm not going to be able to counter it. I have to counter this. Holy moly. Wow, that's just so lucky. I think we lose now. I don't know if they can, yeah. I guess it's not over. I'm gonna play everything I have. One. Two. Creature, land, artifacts, instant. Go. So an Arcana Cruelty is just a GG's here. A creature. This one. This one. All right, how do we win? Okay, we still can win too. We can get lightning bolts. A combination of 2 lightning bolts will win the game. So I'm not dead. I'm not dead. We are going to be fetching in the upkeep and thinning our deck as much as we possibly can. we need expressive iteration or consider. Okay, so fetch. Shock, because if they connect, it's over. I mean, it's just over. Shock. Draw. Okay. So we have to draw from this. Expressive iteration. I think that's game. Yep, that's game. GG's opponent. Mono black control. Too good for us. Yeah, we were nowhere near any amount of lightning bolts or an expressive iteration. It seems that How many lightning bolts do we even see? 1. So the other 3 lightning bolts were on the bottom cards of our deck. Yeah, wow. Okay. GG's opponent. Mono black, really difficult to navigate, even with the blood moon, which helps us turn them off. It's just not good enough. All right, next one. All righty, round number 5. Can we get a 4-1? A 4-1 would be really nice. I kind of need the ticks, to be honest. I mean, this hand's great. We have 2 lands, a ragavan, multiple removals, and a counterspell. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. This hand's nuts. Ooh, land go. Interesting. Land go, huh? I guess I should go land go then, huh? And they revealed a Kahira. Okay, so once again, we're gonna bring out the good old goldfish. We're gonna go Dex, metagame, advanced search, tournaments, modern. Make sure that you use tournaments because that's leagues as well. And we want to look up scalding tarn. And then add a filter. We want to change the sideboard to Kahira. Search. Azorius Control, which makes a lot of sense. Meaning that they probably won't have a answer for a turn 1 Ragavan. So I'm going to jam a turn 1 Ragavan. See, this is the benefit. This is one of the biggest benefits of having MTG Goldfish by your side. I'm not even a sponsor. I would love to be sponsored by Goldfish because I use their website almost every day, probably every day, to look up deck lists. And the only other website that I can think of that's like semi-reasonable is MTG Top 8. All right, Ragavan is around. Oh my god, are we gonna we're untapping? Wow. Come on, Teferi. If we hit 3 mana Teferi off this Ragavan, we probably just win the game. I'm gonna counter this. You let me untap. You let me untap with this Ragavan. I'm gonna protect it with my absolute life. Go. We are playing a real tempo game here. We are making sure that they can't untap, like making sure that they can't go to our turn with a bunch of untapped mana. We're essentially like forcing them to play something at sorcery speed so we can let our spells resolve. So like even if they have a removal spell for this Ragavan, next turn we get to expressive iteration. They might chalice on one. A Renin 6? Holy moly, I was not expecting that. Wow, I was not expecting that. Okay, well, we're going to have to expressive iteration, and then we're probably going to bolt the Ren. All right, see what we get. Anything cool? Another Ragavan? It's kind of funny. Hands, bottom, exile. I think I am just going to play the Ragavan. I don't see a reason to not. They can't hardcast Solitude right now. I don't want to be paying my mana and dashing this Ragavan every turn. Again, I want to keep them tapping out their mana on their turn. Do you have second Renin 6? Is a good question. Do you have Archmage Charm? Archmage Charm would be pretty good. Seems like a leyline, a prismatic ending. Okay. All right. We're here now. Dragon's Rage Channeler. That's another good one to untap with. Okay. Thing. Dragon's Rage Channeler. I could like consider try to find a Ledger Shredder, but I'd rather just like hold up all my mana. I don't know what they're gonna do next turn. I'm probably gonna try to dig for a counterspell. Archmage Charm, draw 2 cards. Okay, let's consider. Let's fetch for a basic, thin the deck, and consider. See what happens. Murktide. It is a win condition. It's a big win condition. It's like, how bad do I want to try to dig for some sort of like counter to this Archmage charm? All right, let's spin it. Let's spin it. Let's spin the bolt. All right. Like, I want the murktide. It's just like it doesn't do anything for me here. I guess like the bauble doesn't do anything for me either, but like we got to look at 3 cards in hopes to find a spell pierce or like a spell snare. Yeah, I can't do anything about this. Yep. Okay, so we are falling behind now. That's not a bad draw. So let's bolt the Teferi. I know that we're kind of doing it in like the opposite order, but we need to get the Teferi off the board so the spell pierce could be online. And then we can play Dragon's Rage Channeler. And then we can play a bauble and get a trigger. And like if they have like a leyline binding, then okay, we don't want the land, pretty sure. And then we're gonna look at what they're gonna draw. We're gonna draw planes. Okay, so it seems that they're just gonna like cast the Solitude, like hard cast, and then we're gonna have to unholy heat it. Like we're falling behind. They've gotten ahead of us. That was not a good draw. Yeah, I'm not gonna spell pierce that. Another Teferi. I'm gonna spell pierce this because I want them to tap all their mana so that I can unholy heat the Teferi. Because it seems that they're holding up a counterspell. And I don't think the spell pierce is getting any better. And they chose to plus, which is good for me. I really wanted them to plus instead of minus to like draw the card and get the value. All right, so they have a Solitude in hand, right? Like that's just a guarantee. What do they reveal the Solitude for? What was the Solitude revealed for? I'm scrolling back in the game log to see where the Solitude came. Okay, I can't really do anything about it, so let's kill the Teferi. Let's bauble them. Omnath. I mean, I'm not gonna not play this, but like, holy crap. Like, I guess I could not play it, but I don't think that I don't think I'm going to win this game, is kind of what I am saying. I pretty much need to untap with this Murktide. I need them to not have a Solitude, which I think they do. I don't know where this revealing came from. I don't remember. But they just like jam Omnath, play a fetch land. It's kind of brutal. Yup. F6. Do your worst. Oh, they don't have a land. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Reason number 1 why I hate Spell Pierce, right there. Boy, do I hate Spell Pierce. Oh, I mean, it's a good card. Like, I like Spell Pierce. It's just such a terrible top deck. I would rather have this been a Spell Snare or a minor misstep. But here, I mean, it essentially does nothing. Ooh, okay. I could have Spell Pierced that. Maybe I should have. But if I do that, then I don't... Like, I just tap the... maybe I should have. I don't know if my Spell Pierce is going to get any better. It could. This is the scenario that it could be better. Right? Because, like, I could theoretically counter, like, a Teferi or, like, a Renin 6 or something. or like a land archmage charm. They're only gonna get one card, right? Oh, put 2. It's pretty good. Okay, they're gaining life. Annoying. Annoying for sure. Counterspell, expressive iteration. Scheisse. Alright, go to 5. Coward. How much does this cost to activate? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ledger Shredder. Go. Go, my chump blocker. Go. Green, red. Okay. 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 I mean, they do stay alive because they get to just hold up the fetch land for my turn. Oh, they're just cracking it. So they have like a solitude or something. It's really annoying. I am gonna get a trigger. That's not nothing. Trigger. All right, give me a counter spell, please. Guess I'm getting rid of the spell pierce. Doesn't really do anything. Resolves. I mean, expressive can still win this game. We can get lightning bolts. Okay, it's expressive. Let's see what happens. No. Hand, bottom, exile, cast a bauble, trigger. Holy crap. I don't know how we win now. They have so much going on. I need like a mixture of like lightning bolts and holy heats, but I really wanted them all to go face. I guess let's get rid of the flooded strands. Let's bauble them. They're gonna draw flooded strands. I'm gonna play my lands. I mean, I don't see how I win if I don't just attack them and attempts to get double lightning bolt. Like, I know the odds are so slim, but like they connect with solitude. They play a land. They gain life. They like this Renance. Like I can't beat all the value. I think that this is my only opportunity to win the game. All right, so I need to consider here. There's one. Draw me bolt. Crap. Well. Yep. So I wonder if we were just supposed to let the bauble resolve and then hope we just draw the bolt and then consider. I'm probably just going to concede here. Oh, they're going to 9. Does that matter? Does that matter? Maybe. They're putting Kahira in hands. They're casting Kahira. Okay. Okay, so I got to bolt the Solitude. Trigger. We need some bolts. And in order to win, we need to draw Lightning Bolt, and then fiery islet, draw a bolt. That's how we win. Trigger. Unholy heat. No, I think we lose now. I'm gonna concede to save time. I'm lower on time than them. I don't really want to think. So we would have not gotten there. We would have like drawn the bolt if we'd like done in the opposite order, considered, milled the counterspell, draw a ledger shredder. But interesting to note, if you guys are watching, let me know what the correct order that you think I should have done the bauble and the consider in. I'm not entirely sure. I think that I'm supposed to let the bauble resolve and just hope that I blind rip the... I'm going to have to blind rip a bolt anyway, so I might as well like let that one resolve so I can try to get a little deeper into the deck. Okay, so Blood Moons, absolutely. They are playing a control deck, but like with more colors. Subtlety, absolutely. Dress Downs, absolutely. And then Mystical Dispute, most definitely, I think. Out against them, Ledger Shredder, I cut 1. Murktide, I probably cut 1 because they're playing a bunch of the exile removal, ley lines and stuff. Spell Snare, I probably want to keep. They're playing Counterspell. They're playing Ren in 6. Spell Pierce is like not terrible. Lightning Bolt is not that good. It was good there, but we probably can cut 1. Dragon's Rage Channeler is also not that... It's like, it's a threat. It just like dies to like Ren and 6 and stuff. So maybe I'm just supposed to like do this. The Spell Pierce is like a little bit better, but how much better? Not that much better. Like as we saw there, the Spell Pierce is really bad. So maybe we're supposed to bring these out. And what would we rather have? I guess the Ledger Shredder. And like, I'll take a Dragon's Rage Channeler. I could bring in the last bolt, but I think I'd just rather have the ability of playing a turn 1 creature. Like just add the 5th one, you know? All right, let's see. Let's see. Ooh. I think this hand's a mull, interestingly enough. So we have a lot of lands and we have a lot of stuff to do, but we have better 6-card hands. This is essentially a 6-card hand, and we have better 6-card hands. This hand's better, arguably. Throw back like the Otawara. And then we can... I guess Scalding Tarn go. I'm not gonna cast the bauble. I'm gonna hold the bauble for now. All right. Well, we are playing a Ledger Shredder. Hello, kitty. Meow. Meow. Mwah. All right, they are fetching. So this seems like a Mystical Dispute. Sure. Resolves. I'm just gonna pass. We're just gonna hold the... We're gonna hold the Ledger Shredder. That was a really good Mystical Dispute, though. And we are on a mull to 6, so they're like really ahead right now. That's the same feeling as getting spell snared. It's kind of brutal. All right, so we have the second Ledger Shredder, so that's pretty nice. Let's, ooh, do I want to expressive? I really want to hit a land, so I'm going to expressive. I think I care more about hitting a land than I do about resolving the Ledger Shredder. Oh my gosh. We bricked, and we probably lose now. We pretty much casted 2 mana, draw a card. I took the Unholy Heat because it will at least like kill a Teferi if they like plus or something, but we're probably not going to win now. That was absolutely brutal. We're playing 20 lands too. Something to think about. 20 lands. Okay. That is lands. So we'll start with a Ledger Shredder. We got nothing else going on. We'll play the bauble. Trigger. What we get? I will get rid of one of the spirebluff canals because one of them is going to enter tapped. We'll play it, and we will... I'll pass. I could bauble there, I guess. Like, potentially draw a mystical dispute, but... Alright, I'll bauble you now. You're drawing a counterspell. That's a good one to know about. I guess I want the fetch lands. And I'm probably just going to hold this subtlety. I could, like, expressive, but I think that I would rather hold a subtlety. Like, we're probably just going to be playing, like, a counter war where they're just going to pass now, yeah. So I'm going to get myself to a position where I can cast this expressive iteration, like, through, like, cast expressive iteration, and they can counter it, and I can still hold up subtlety. Like, I'm technically winning. I do have 2 more live. Kahira is in the hand. You got it. So let's jam the expressive now. See if they want to counter it. They probably won't. Yeah, I didn't think they would. Hand, bottom, exile. Then we get to play a bauble. Trigger. Do I want to get rid of the second bauble? Or do I want to get rid of the ragavan? I guess the bauble. No, I'm sorry, kitty. We'll play later. And I'll bauble myself, for sure. Get rid of a land that's most likely on top. Ooh, the ragavan. Okay, so we got a little punished then. Fetch, let's get our last basic. Let's shock ourselves too, so we can hold a ball or a mana. And then we'll hit them. See what we get. I'll let, like, a removal spell resolve, most likely. Well, I can't do anything about a removal spell. Yeah, if they have a removal spell, it's kind of unfortunate. Like, this seems like a leyline binding, like a tapped out leyline binding. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Can't do anything about that. However, I am going to be able to ragavan, so that's something. Ooh, and we have a backup ragavan now. Didn't we just try to get rid of that one? All right, so I'm definitely just going to dash this ragavan, and we're going to see what happens. Nice, we had a land too. Let's dash. Resolved, huh? Interesting. Are they going to let me hit them? Oh my god, they let me hit them. And we hit a scalding tarn, of course. Ugh, I feel like whenever we need Ragavan to, like, do something impactful, it just, like, hits them for 2. Wonder if they're gonna, like, try to kill it now. That'd be kind of interesting. No, they did not want to. I'm still gonna hold on to the scalding tarn in case we do draw the 4th bauble. Okay, well, let's dash Ragavan. Let's rinse and repeat. Would you like to take another 2? Your choice. I'm surprised they let the first one hit. Solitude, huh? Yeah, I think I'll let the Solitude resolve. I could subtlety it, but, like, that's, like, my entire turn. And I think I'm supposed to lightning bolt this instead of unholy heat so that I can kill an Omnath if it, like, happens to resolve. But it's really close. It's pretty close. We want to cross the finish line eventually. Yeah, I'm gonna bolt it. And I suppose I'm just supposed to pass. I could like play the ragavan, I guess, but I don't really want to do that. Just like let it die to like anything. Rather just like hold up my subtlety and unholy heat. All right, they're at 9. It's kind of a magic number. How many bolts do we have left in the deck? Probably have like 1. Yeah, we have 1 bolt left, so not as much of a magic number. It's kind of a magic number. Kahira resolves. That doesn't really do anything. I could kill it. Yeah, I think I'm going to kill it. I want to dash this ragavan pretty badly. And let's also fetch. Let's like not worry about the bauble and like try to just thin the deck. We have no more fetchables, so all of our fetches are dead. Okay, so let's dash ragavan. Will you counterspell this one? Ooh, you will. You will, huh? I think I'm supposed to counterspell this back. All right. Will it connect? I think it will. All right. Prismatic ending. We can't get enough mana to exile Leyline Binding, sadly. So we unfortunately just have to pass. All right. I mean, we can counter one thing that they play, like one creature or. Well, I'm gonna do it. I don't really think that I'm supposed to wait any longer on this subtlety. Archmage Charm or second counterspell? Or Mystical Dispute, second counterspell. I bet you they drew that counterspell too. Bet you they drew it. Now, do they draw a card? It's a good question. Do they draw a card? They plussed. Wow. That's gutsy. It's pretty gutsy. Because if I expressive here, so I'm just jamming expressive iteration. We hit Blood Moon. Hand bottom exile, even though our lands don't do anything anymore. So I guess let's consider then. That's so interesting. All right, let's keep it on top. Let's dash this Ragavan. All right, come on, Ragavan. I need you. I need you to connect. All right, Ragavan's connecting. That's good. We hit Leyline Binding. How much mana is that? 4. It's 4 mana. Just enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to exile Teferi. I mean, I need them to like essentially have nothing, and it seems that they have nothing. But I need them to draw nothing too. Like, don't draw Omnath. Pass. That's Omnath. Ah, you're so good. Don't draw lands. Oh, come on. Come on. Of course, right. Well, I'm going to jam this Blood Moon. We're going to make them crack. So I can dash, make them block, bolt. Something. That is something. Is that worth it to like, get rid of this Omnath? Don't know what else I'm doing to get rid of it. They don't have a green mana. 1, 2, Archmage Charm. Interesting. I don't think I'm supposed to dress down here. I don't think so. Like, I could try to find a counterspell, but, like, we probably just lose if we, like, don't find it, right? So now I can dash Ragavan, attempt to kill Omnath. I think I have to do that. I think I have to. Even though they probably just have another Omnath, right? I wonder if they just, like, let it connect. They might just let it connect. Okay, they're not. Okay. Damage? Alright. Does Omnath die? It does. Alright, have nothing. Have nothing. Have we seen the 20th lands? We might have. That flooded strand might be the 20th land. I'm not sure. Oh, Leyline Binding for the Leyline Binding. Yeah, this deck is really hard to beat. They just play so many good cards that we just can't let resolve. Teferi and Ren and... Did they Teferi minus target the Leyline Binding? Yeah, they did. That's probably game. Okay, well, that does draw a card. Draw! Dash Ragavan! Attempt to kill Teferi! Do we succeed? No shot. Alright. Uh-huh. Well. My dress down's not doing anything anymore, so might as well draw a card. Alright. Alright, opponent. I think you got this one. I think we played pretty well too. I think this game was pretty difficult to navigate. And I just think that they just got there. All started with the turn 1 Mystical Dispute, then our Mola 6. Second Omnath. Alright, I'll take a draw step and then concede. Like, maybe we draw Unholy Heat and we can kill the Omnath, I guess, and then, like, we can continue. But even then, we probably just lose. Okay. Alright, I will, I'm gonna concede to save time. And by time I mean my own life, because I don't think that we can win from there. It feels relatively over. All right, let's crack our one chest. Come on, endurance, something. Wait, that's worth something, right? Right? That's got to be worth something. Allosaurus Shepherd. $1. In paper, it is worth way more. Alrighty, let's talk about the deck list. It actually felt pretty good. I'm not sure how often the 20th land was our downfall. But it was pretty nice to be able to hit our land drops. I can't really complain about that. The deck list felt pretty consistent. I do stick by my feeling that 4 Ledger Shredders is just too many. It's just too many. There were so many times that we just had multiples, and we were like, yeah, like I'm just going to pitch the second one. If I have a card in my deck that I'm pitching to a Ledger Shredder, right? Like if I'm like, in my philosophy is that if I am pitching the second Ledger Shredder to the first Ledger Shredder because I just don't want that Ledger Shredder, then maybe the second Ledger Shredder should just be another card, something more impactful, something that I don't want to discard. Because at that point, the second Ledger Shredder could have been absolutely anything. So in my mind, this Ledger Shredder should just be something else. Probably Brazen Borrower, to be honest. And we can cut the land. I mean, we don't need this flooded strand. We did this for the funsies. But I think I'd rather this just be either a Blood Moon or a Brazen Borrower. One or the other. I'd be really happy with either. It completely depends on your meta. I think Blood Moon is probably a little bit better right now, but it's totally up to you. And then for me, I would be cutting another fetch land, and I would just add the Blood Moon and the Brazen Borrower, but I'm a fan of 18 lands. Sideboard, there's a lot of cards we just like did not board in, but the deck felt pretty stock. It felt good. I mean, there's nothing special about it, but I can see why that it's the most played deck list, not the most winning. Remember, MTG Goldfish it's more about the amount of people playing it. I can see why everybody's playing this version of it. 60 cards, obviously. If you enjoy this kind of content, please, please, please like the video, subscribe, tell me what deck you want me to play on the channel this week or in the future. I love Murktide. Let me know what plays I made that were wrong. I love learning. I like it when you guys tell me what I did incorrectly. It makes me a better Magic player. And who knows, maybe there's a debate going on. Maybe my play was actually better. Who knows? Definitely tell me any mistakes that I made so I can be a better Magic player. I appreciate you guys. Follow me on Twitter, TylerBMTG. Follow me on Twitch, Tyler_B. And as always, I love you. Goodbye.